Good morning. Just want to do a quick little tutorial on Zoom, downloading it and also setting up a meeting and running it. So if you don't already have Zoom app installed, you're going to want to go to the browser and type in download Zoom. And I simplify things by putting the .us on there because Zoom is all over the world. So if you want to download the US version, it will detect if you're a Windows or if you're a Mac machine. So if I hit the search, I come up with the download center for Zoom. You may get a couple of ads in here. My ads are blocked. If you get the ads, skip past those and get down to the actual zoom.us site. So if I go to that site, and you come up with this page, and it's the client for meetings, and that's exactly what you want. You'll hit download. It will be a short little install. That install will put an icon that's light blue with a camera on it, and that's how you launch the application. Since I already have it, I'm not going to install it again. If I can't find it on my busy desktop, I'll just type in Zoom, and you see my little icon with the camera. So I launched Zoom. This is what it looks like. If I wanted to start a new meeting immediately, then I would just select the orange icon. If I wanted to schedule a meeting for later in the calendar, then I can hit the schedule. And I'll go into a little bit more detail on these in just a second. If I had a 9-digit session ID that somebody sent me to join the existing meeting, then I would use the join. And then if I want to share my screen in that meeting, then I need to use this little icon right here. So this app is very simple. It looks like this. Real quick, if I go in here, you'll notice that here's the place to put in my meeting ID. It's 8 or 9 characters, and then I can join that meeting. It lets you join a meeting that someone else is hosting, but you'll need to wait for them to admit you to the meeting to get started. If I hit new meeting, it's going to launch a meeting right now, and then I can send out invites. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on the schedule meeting. You'll notice that I have the pop-up, and it comes up with the present time and the present date. But this is scheduled for an hour away, thinking I'm not going to do that any sooner than it is right now. It says 30 minutes. It'll let you change that. Right now with the COVID-19 virus that's going on, they're extending some of this time for larger groups, but generally the default is 40 minutes. If I say 45 minutes, it's going to say, hey, you need to upgrade. I don't want to upgrade. I'm just going to say we'll do 30 minutes for right now. If I knew this was a recurring meeting every week at the same time, I would go ahead and do that. But let's just say I wanted to make it for tomorrow night. So I just come in here and change it to tomorrow night. And it's going to be not 11, but let's say I'm going to do it at 7 p.m. There is a default where it requires a password to join. You're concerned about who joins it, and they have to have a password. That's where you would do that. I'm not going to require a password for this demo. Here's my meeting ID number. That's what I would send to others if I'm hosting a meeting, or I can generate a new one every time. My video is on now, and my participant video is on. You're going to want to enable those if you want to be able to see them in your Zoom meeting, and they have a camera. I usually leave this as telephone and audio from my PC. That way, if they have a PC and can use their audio, they can. Otherwise, they'll have the option to dial in with their phone. Under the advanced options, there's now a waiting room. That waiting room allows you to prevent uninvited people from joining your meeting or session. I allow people to join the session even though the meeting hasn't started yet. That's what this is. And if I'm concerned it's going to be a one-way or more of a lecture, then I can turn this on and mute everybody when they join. So that's how I would set up a meeting. If I go ahead and hit schedule, I can go ahead and do that right now. Again, if I wanted to do a meeting immediately, then I would just hit new meeting and start with video, and I would start. Very simple. Once you start a meeting, let's go ahead and start a meeting. The camera is not going to work because I'm using it for a different app. I will hit select computer audio, and you'll notice that my microphone's working over here, and I can share my screen. And my screen is this one. And if I hit share, then now my screen is shared. I can stop that at any time with the stop and jump back into it. A couple things I suggest you do just to make things easier is that I like to open up the chat window. This chat window lets me send a text to everybody in the group or to individual participants in the group. If I send them to individual participants, the chat is private. Kind of nice to be able to query or talk to somebody and get their thoughts about what might be going on in the meeting. Another thing that is a nice option for the Zoom is that you can actually record the meeting, and that way it can be shared with someone else later. That recording is an MP4 file. It can be played anywhere. Hope this helps a little bit. I actually have that meeting started. I'm going to end my Zoom meeting. I have the option to end it for everybody or just myself. I'm going to end it, and that brings us to the close of my Zoom meeting. Hope that helps a little bit on running Zoom and downloading it and getting it set up. The best way to learn it is to start using it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you all.